Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well. Today's episode we're going to take a look at the new Tunze osmolator. That's what I actually went with to buy. Now I was looking for that online and to be fair, I've always wanted one of them. It was just every time I went to see about getting one, they were either all sold out because it was so popular. And stuff like that, so I just couldn't get one, so that's why I ended up originally with a D&D. Now this has been running on my tank for what, 2.5 years or so, 3 years, so it's done pretty decent for the price of what you pay for them. But yeah, it was a bit of a shock, but we're getting there in the end. What I'll do is I filmed a couple of pieces during the process of setting it up. Well, not setting up, of basically opening the box, showing you what's in the box. There's not many people like to see, and there's hundreds of them out there anyway, and I'm not one for doing boxes, unboxing videos and stuff like that. So basically I'll just show you briefly what's in it, what you get in it, if you don't already know. Somebody just might know, somebody might already have them on your tank. So, but they are the best. They are probably one of the best you can get for the for an auto top-off system, for sure. Like I said, for me, it was just a case of I never had the, every time I went to get one, it was always, they were either all sold out or they just didn't have them in stock. So yeah, it was a bit of a nightmare, but we finally got one today. As you can see, this still not put on the on that frag plug. This is about 3 days later, 2-3 days later, and the corals of glue has gone over that side. But yeah, still not put it on. I will put it on though. In fact, what I'm thinking of doing is taking it off there and sticking it on the ground as it is. That way we should be safe. But like I said, I'm not going to really go into too much with the corals because you've seen them all before. Corals are doing really good, colouring up really nicely. I have no issues. These lights, which I say time and time again since I've had them, are definitely making a difference in colour and growth for sure. But like I said, only time will tell. All these white tips on this digitator here, just look here, all of them are all new growth. New white tips on this one at the back as well. The my guitar, all of the tips of them are all new. Just really grow it. And like I said, this PC rainbow here, which is just basically covered that frag plug which we seen last time on the video. So overall guys, everything is going really well with this tank, and I've got no, like I said, got no issues with it whatsoever, other than, like I said, the RO sticking, the RO water being pumped in, but we're slowly raising that up now. Some of the video will be what I've recorded yesterday when I bought the actual auto top off, and some will just be like today. So not much has changed, it's only a few days, but I just thought I'd put another video out, and then I'll put another one out in the next couple of weeks or so, just my impressions of it and, you know, stuff like that. So I've got to read into it, to be fair, and we'll go from there. But fingers crossed it'll be okay, and fingers crossed we'll be back on track. Salinity in this is still 0.123. I mixed a load up of salt. Basically, I mixed it up so the actual HANA checker couldn't even register what it was. It was flashing at 1.040, so it was flashing really high. So that indicates to me that it's super concentrate, really strong. And I basically just tipped it in the sump. I've took some of the water out of there, I think it's about 5 litres or so. Took that out, and I've just put 5 litres of the higher concentrate of salt water here, just to raise it up. Still not done much, not done anything, to be fair. Still reading is 1.023. So what I'm doing is I'm actually put this back on now. That's got salt water in it, 1.0. I've put salt water in there, that's 1.028 in that. I've mixed the salt batch up to there. So what that's going to do is that'll just dose in. He's going to dose into the tank when the when the KH keeper takes the water out. That's what that's for. So hopefully, slowly but surely, this is what you got to do, guys. Take it slowly. Don't do anything stupid and too quick, because you'll probably make more mistakes and things can take a drastic turn quite quick, and it's hard to get it back to recover it. So I'm just going to take my time with it, and we'll see where we go. But what I'll do is now is I'll just show you some of the other videos that I filmed yesterday, and then we'll come back once I've set it all up and got it up and running, and we'll see whether it's working and all up and running. So stay tuned, guys. Right then, guys, so just got back from the shop, and thankfully they had the one that I wanted in stock. They had 2 of them in stock. I bought this from Oasis, so yeah, massive shout out to them. Thankfully they had it in stock, which I'm really happy about. And with these guys, with this, I mean, they're quite expensive. I think I paid £180, I think it was, for this. So it's a pretty expensive piece of kit, but this is like a lifeline for your tank. I mean, it could be a lifeline or it could be a disaster. I mean, obviously, you know, we want our water to be, our RO to be topped up, perfect. We don't want any mistakes, and just like the one I just had fail on me. Obviously, it's a few years old, so it's to be expected, and it's not the most expensive one. It was a D&D. I had no issues with it, to be fair. I always clean the sensor on it, but with those sort of things, you've only got the one sensor on it. You've only got one fail safe, whereas this, you've got 3 fail safes on it. You have the you have the timer on it, where basically it pumps the water into your tank, but then it switches off after a certain amount of time. It also has the optical sensor, which is this. This is your main one, I believe. And then you also have the float sensor. So if that one fails for any reason, you have the float sensor that will trip off. So you've got a few fail safes there, which is a blessing, especially like the incident that I had with my tank. So, you know, you don't really want that to happen. While I was there also, I bought a clip. Well, he gave me that clip. Some nori for the fish, and then I bought another roll for the Clarity. Like I said, with these I really tend to go through. Don't really tend to go through these often. Every 3 to 4 months, really, mine goes through. And then I bought some of this. With people have asked about this, especially we've talked about it on the live streams before. This is the stuff I use, the polyfilter. If I can focus, let's see. There we go. By Arcadia. Really, really good. Always run this in my tank now, guys. I never, you know, not put it in. I always go with it. And basically it just looks like it's just a basic sponge. Just like that. Like a polywool. But if you feel it's quite hard on the top and softer on the bottom. Now this basically takes out these elements, you know what I mean? And it also removes nitrates and phosphates. Not as much, but these are what it actually takes out. So it takes out copper, ammonia, iron, aluminium, lead, and any heavy organics. So for peace of mind, guys, it basically changes to the colour of them, whatever it is, which is a really good idea. And like I said, any sort of thing, because sometimes we do have things that leach in our tank, i.e. pumps, you know, heaters, things like that. This is just a peace of mind. You look at the tank, you look at your, you know, this in your tank, and you see what colour it is. I mean, God forbid it's like red or anything like that, or, you know, yellow, then you know that it's containing, or it could possibly contain aluminium, or it could possibly contain, just pick this up, contain lead. So yeah, really, really good piece of kit to look at. But while we're here, might as well take a look what we get in the box. Briefly, don't like doing unboxing videos. To be fair, there's hundreds of them out there, so there's no point in me going in to things. You just get the manuals and stuff like that, which will file them to one side, and then we get this thing. Obviously Tunze, made in Germany, so you expect good quality from Tunze. And to be fair, I've actually seen no negative comments about these things, to be fair, guys. All I've ever seen is positive reviews about them and stuff like that, so you can't say fairer than that. This is the actual monitor, and then we have the this is the optical eye. We also have the float switch on there, and then we have these two here. I'm assuming they're for connecting it to it. Then we have the pump. I did ask, does this actually fit in a 25-litre jerry can, the actual opening, and he did say yeah. So that's a good sign, because that is exactly what I needed it to go in. You get a fairly decent length of tubing, along with what's this? Oh, this is the clamps onto the side of your sump into your return. And then we also get, oh, this is the mount. One thing I have got to mention, guys, is when you get these, I mean, this is the magnet, that's the magnet side. Now, if I could take this off here, I'm only hoping now, yeah, that this actually fits in between this gap. Now, as you can see, guys, you don't get much of a gap on here, on these sumps and the Red Seas. That's a bit dusty, isn't it? Yeah, loads of dust on there. So yeah, you don't get much of a gap, as you can see. Tiny, tiny gap. Now, I'm only hoping, and it, just look at that. I mean, guys, look at that. That's like 0.5 mil, not even 0.5 mil gap there. So thank God we can get it in there. Now, the issue is how I'm actually going to stick it to the actual magnet. That's going to be a bit of an issue. Not sure of that yet, but I'm sure we'll figure it out. And that's the problem you get with these sumps. Because they actually come, you can't move the actual sump across anymore because of the hinge. And the reason we're having this problem, is because it automatically comes with an auto top off. So you don't really, basically, they just assuming you're going to keep this, or, you know, things like that, when in reality, you're not actually keeping the auto top off, which is here, which was here, if you remember. So basically, they give you very, very minimal thing. Now, one thing I could do is what one of the guys has said is to put a magnet stirrer. Put them in a bag, like a magnet bag, and do it that way, and then put the bag actually inside the sump on this side here, and have it dosing that way. Now that might be one way I might be able to do it, to be fair, but we'll only time will tell. We'll see, but we'll figure something out, and yeah, we'll come back to it. But overall, guys, everything, that's about it. What you get in there. Oh, you also get another 2 magnets, dependent on your glass size. I'm assuming that is, and then you get which is the power. This is the power plug. This is the plug for it. I'm assuming. Yeah, this is the plug that you get. UK plug, and then we'll thing. So yeah, basically, guys, that's exactly what you get. You just get this stuff. So we'll, hopefully next time I'm on this video, you'll be able to see it all up and running. So fingers crossed everything goes well, and I'll see you soon. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Obviously you've just seen exactly what I bought the other day. This is a few days on now from that. And like I said, first things first, first impressions were, you know, really good quality, good make. But just as we're talking, that is the one thing that I do not like about this pump and about this ATO reservoir. Right on cue is the sound of that pump. Now, for £180, Tunze, you need to get your act together, because that is just, I know it's not on all the time, thank God. But that to me is just like unacceptable for, you know, such an expensive piece of equipment that's going in your tank. I mean, albeit, you know, it doesn't run all the time, but that's irrelevant. I mean, at the end of the day, when it does go off, it is noisy. And for me, that D&D one, the original one that I had in my tank, paid £79, I think it was, or £69 for it. It lasted
2.5 years, and you couldn't even hear the pump going off at all on it. So, you know, £180, £70, all right, you're paying for the quality, but you're also paying for the redundancies as well, like I spoke about before, is you've got 3 different redundancies on it. So obviously you're paying for that, and maybe a little bit of the technology, but that pump needs to be sorted out. I mean, that is a loud pump, and yeah, thank God that it's not going off all the time, because my missus would have had that booted right out of this house. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, not the best, but it is what it is. It does its thing, and that's the main thing. I would have a look under the tank and show you where it is, but the light needs charging, and you won't be able to see it, I don't think. That's good. Well, yeah, you can just about see it. There's where I've put it now, and as you can see, if I can focus, just there. So you got the float switch there. You've got the optical laser sensor, which is just there. And I'm trying my best to focus, guys. Like I said, it's on a crappy camera. There we go. So yeah, you got the float set, the laser, the optical eye. You've got the float, which obviously if it raises up anymore, then it does it. But I mentioned before about this little gap that I had here, and what I've done, guys, obviously I couldn't get my hand behind there, so I've got it in a bit of a bag, plastic bag. I put it in the magnet in the bag, so basically the magnet dropped down where obviously I couldn't get hold of it, couldn't grip it, and I've just basically held the bag, and it automatically stuck to the magnet on the back side of that. So that was pretty good, and it worked a treat, so really happy that worked out. But overall, yeah, it's doing its thing. It's dosing the tank, it's keeping it stable, it's level off, and we're back up to like I said, I'm dosing I was dosing the salt slowly, and we're back up to 1.025 now. Sorry, tell lie, 1.024. So we've come up 0.1, which is not too bad, and the corals are doing fine. There's nothing wrong with the corals, everything's fine. Like I said before, in fact, the flowing, just look at the size of this bubble, absolutely massive today. Huge bubble coral today. So yeah, overall, no stress in the tank, nothing untowards. The polyfilter I've put in the back. Some people do mention to me, I'm just moving this out of the way. Some people do mention to me like where they would put the polyfilter, and I put the polyfilter there. So I cut it up, so I put a piece there, and I put a piece on the overflow, on the chart, on the piece there, just where the overflow sections are, and then I also put a piece just below, sorry, just in the baffle, just there. If I can focus again, yeah, there, you could just see it there. That's where the last piece is. So I basically just cut it all out, and I do it like that, guys, and I just wedge it in, and yeah, it's good to go. Everything's fine. Well, it's well worth getting it just for the peace of mind. Like I said, that's why I run that all the time. Whether you've got any elements in the tank, any iron or anything like that, just God forbid you haven't. But all going well, everything's fine, and all the corals seem to be doing really good. So the anemone is still peeing me off. I mean, just look at the size. It's a beautiful anemone for sure, but it's just a bit of a nuisance, and it's going, like I said, it's just going a bit too close to these torches. I am, like I said, looking for a new rock. I've just not found that right piece yet that needs to be wedged in between there, and hopefully the anemone will get a bit peed off and he'll start moving somewhere else, somewhere where I can get a grip of his foot and get him out. But until then, we're stuck with him. But as for the rest of the coral, everything's all looking really good. This Pikachu is looking fantastic, but I've shown you these before anyway, so you know what they're all about. But if you've got any comments, or yeah, let me know what you think about it. If you've got one of those Tunzes, about the sound. There's a little lily, one-eye lily, the mandarin, beautiful fish, and then we've got all the rest of it all going about. But yeah, like I said, overall, guys, tank's looking pretty good. Really happy with the way it's going. The lights absolutely in love with, and like I said, you know, things are going pretty decent for the time being. So fingers crossed it goes that way, and we'll move on. But like I said, I'm going to leave it here, guys, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you have done, click like and subscribe. Try not to make them as long next time. Leave a comment below, and if you're not already subscribed, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, I'd really appreciate it to make more content and more videos for you guys out there. So stay tuned, and I'll see you on the next video, guys. Cheers.